Good evening, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner. I know my lights are a little wobbly right now, but that's because I don't know whether you guys can see this or not, but way up here there used to be like a little chandelier thing, and I stupidly dropped it, and it went, and well, since then we haven't bought a new one yet, and we will, so bear with me, be patient. Anyway, the topic of tonight's discussion is the NOAA weather radios that are made by Midland. And this is a portable one. They have a home version and they have a portable one, and I'm going to demonstrate the portable one. Why do I have a portable one? Well, anybody who has watched my Looking for Lincoln sign footage would know why I have a portable one. I can tell you that when I went into Lerna that day, I did a video between Shelbyville, Strasburg, Charleston, Mattoon, and finally Lerna. When I went into Lerna, storms started to develop, and I was like, okay, I need my portable. So I turned this baby on, and I found out that all I was going to get was a little bit of rain. I was like, well, I'm not going to worry about rain, but the clouds looked like it was going to be doing more than that. And I was like, okay. Anyway, this is the portable Midland radio. I know some of this is going to be a little hard to see. I'm going to try to put this in high def as much as I can, but there's just so many things that I can do with this kind of thing, so just bear with me. Here's the front of the mechanism here, and on this side right here you're going to see two little ports. One is for speakers, and one is for a DC jack that comes with this radio. I do not use the DC jack because I never really use this at home. I usually use this on the road. I do have a home thing where I can actually plug it in. This is more for my on-the-road trips. Or if I'm at work, I work in retail, and as a trained storm spotter, I have one of these so that I know what's coming. I can start spotting for weather, and then I can call into NWS, and, well, you get the idea. Anyway, I'm going to try to light this up for you. See how it lights up like this? Okay. Now, this portable device is not like the home device. This actually has two modes on it. It has the HM and the TR. Now, what's the HM and the TR? Well, first of all, the HM means that you're at home and it can function here at home. The TR, on the other hand, is a travel mode. And what happens is, as you're traveling, this thing will automatically seek out the nearest National Weather Service station. Now, I'm going to give you detailed information about some of these weather stations later on in the video, so bear with me. If you really want to know all this stuff, you're going to know it tonight. Okay, now this thing has two buttons on the top, has an on-off switch. Now you hold the button down like this, and if you hold down for about 5 or 6 seconds, oops, let me try it again. If you hold it down for about 5 or 6 seconds, it turns the device off, just like that. And if you hold it down 5 or 6 seconds again, it'll turn it on. Now, this button right over here will actually turn on the voice.
Montgomery. And now the regional weather summary. Strong south winds and unseasonably warm weather prevailed across.
Okay, so this is going to give you what's on the Weather Service. The Weather Service broadcast. That's kind of complicated. They actually have a facility in Lincoln, Illinois. If you live in Illinois, Lincoln, Illinois, they have a facility over there. They have the big Doppler thing. I showed you that in one of my Looking for Lincoln videos. Okay? And they have a facility with a big Doppler and a whole 9 yards type thing. And what they do is they send information from there, usually either by telephone or by internet or whatever, to other stations. Okay, and I will explain that later in the video. And when they do, then those other stations are the things that actually send weather alerts to you. Okay, the reason why I like these better than watching it on television is that these little devices will receive the weather information first, then the television stations and the radio stations will receive it thereafter, and then they report it to you. By the time the TV stations and the radio stations get the alert out to you, you can already be in it. Okay, so it's better to have one of these instead. Anyway, you're probably wondering how to program this thing. Okay, when the device is on, as you can see, it's on because it has the HM up here and it has the NOAA over here. Okay, and NOAA, it stands for National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. There you go. When these two are up on the top here like this, as you can see, and I'll turn the light on so you can see it like that. When those two are up on top, that means the device is on. Now, as you can see here, we have two buttons. Well, we have three buttons right down here. We have three buttons. See these three buttons right there? Okay. The first one switches you from travel mode to home mode. Now, if you hold this down for 5 seconds, now you're on travel mode. Hold it down again. And now you're back on home mode. Okay. Now, how do you set this thing? Well, this thing has a menu. Okay. And this is like a restaurant menu. You could sit there at a fancy restaurant. They give you a menu. You read down the list, and then you choose whatever you want, and then you tell the maitre d', so on and so forth. Okay. Sort of the same way this thing works here. If you're used to computers, you have menus on computers as well. What you'll do here is you'll press the menu button like this, and it will have several options, okay? You can actually set the time on this thing. I'm not going to demonstrate how to set the time because, quite honestly, I'm not going to have this thing on all the time. This is for my traveling only, okay? I have a home mode. I have a home version of this, and that has the time on it, but when I'm traveling with this thing, this is strictly for travel, okay? You can either do time here. You can actually set the light. Now, you see the light is on right now, but in a couple of seconds, the light will turn off. Now, you can actually set this thing so that the light is always on, and to do that, you're going to hit the select button. Okay, now remember, we just hit the menu button, okay? Now, let me show you this again. We're going to hit the menu button. This is a cursor. These two buttons here are cursors. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down the cursor here. We're going to go to light. Alright, and you can review this video over and over again until you get this thing, alright? So, let's do this one more time. We're going to hit menu, hit the down cursor till we get to light. Then we're going to hit select. And it has backlight normal. This is a backlight, okay? It has normal. Then we can also have backlight on, and by setting it to backlight on, this light will never shut off, okay? So, if we're going to do backlight on, we're going to do this one more time here, okay? Let's start with menu. We'll hit menu, down arrow. Now it says light. You're going to hit select. Backlight is always on. You're going to hit select again. And then you'll hit menu one more time, and that backlight will never shut off. Okay? If you want to switch it, you can actually hit menu, down cursor, select, down cursor, select again, and menu. Okay? And then your light, of course, will shut off in a couple of seconds. See? Now I'm going to go ahead and set it so that the light is always on because of the other things we're going to do with this machine, alright? So hang on just a second. Alright, now the next thing on this menu is we can set, you can have this is an alert test, okay? And what you can do is you can test to see if this alert is actually working. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to hit select like this. Okay, and as you heard, it's working just fine. Alright, so let's go ahead here. We're going to hit the menu key. We've already chosen our light. We've already tested the alert. Now we're going to have alert type. We're going to hit the select button, and we can have display, tone, or voice. Okay, now the tone is what you heard. You heard that beep, 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 beep. That's your tone. Voice would be this. Hang on. Voice would be this.
Impacts. The wind will blow around any unsecured objects such as trash cans and lawn furniture.
That's voice right there. What you're doing is you're actually hearing the weather station.
West to east road
This one's from Springfield, and I'll explain that later on in the video, but you're hearing the weather station. Alright, and that's what you hear. Now, me personally, I would choose menu. You're going to scroll down from time to light to alt test to alt type, hit select. For most people, what you'll want to do is you'll want to scroll down until you get to tone and then select. Now, for those of you who are at work and don't want to panic everybody, you would select alt type of display and you just read your display, okay? Now, if you wanted to hear it for yourself, if you were just you by yourself and you didn't like the tone, you could hit it for voice. It's really up to you. Okay? Now, once you set the alert type, you'll hit menu again and it'll take you back out. Now, we're going to hit menu again. As I said, I'm not going to tell you how to do the time. You can do that on your own. There's the light. There's the alt test. We've already made sure the machine can actually beep at us. There's the alert type. We've set ours to tone. Here's same set. Now, the same set, okay, and I will explain this to you. Just give me a second here. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay. Ha ha, boy, this is getting it. Okay. The same set, same is an acronym, believe it or not. Give me just a second here to pull up the acronym. Okay. Okay, the acronym of SAME is Specific Area Message Encoding. Let me say that again. It's Specific Area Message Encoding. That's what SAME actually stands for. And what you do is you can punch in 6-digit codes which will cause this thing in a normal mode will alert you for every single county that's covered in your area. But you can actually set this thing so that it will only alert you for specific counties. For instance, I live in Macon County. I can set this thing to alert me for Sangamon County and for Macon County. Alright? And here's what I'm going to do. To set the same set, we're going to hit menu. We're going to scroll down past time, light, alt test, alt type, and we're going to hit same set. We're going to now hit the select button. And we're going to, now it says any, we're going to scroll down to multiple. Okay, we're going to set multiple. And then it'll give you up to 7 channels. As you can see here, well, actually 9 channels. It'll give you 9 channels here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You can program 9 counties into this machine, and it will alert you for those counties without alerting you for every other county. Okay? And let's say you wanted to actually program one. Well, let's go to number 1 here. Now we're at number 1. We're going to hit select, and there's a 6-digit code, and you can actually push these up and down buttons like this. See? You can push these up and down buttons, and you can set your 6-digit code. Now then, here comes the real question. How do you get the codes? Well, let me get this out of here. And I'm going to turn this off for a second. How do you get the codes? Well, I'm going to show you the website here. No, stop it. Alright, hang on. Okay. To get the codes, you're going to type in, and I'll make this bigger. This is ridiculous. Let me get my word thing going here. I'm going to make this real great big for you. And let's do this. There, that's better. What you're going to do is you're going to type this into the address bar of your web browser. Okay, you'll type this into the address bar of your web browser, and when you do, let me get out of this, it's going to take you to this page. Okay, and okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and show you this page here. And I don't know why it's not working. Huh. Okay. Okay, what you're going to do is over on the left here, you're going to see a hyperlink called Same Coding. You'll click that, it will take you to this, and then it'll say same codes for states, counties, and territories. And what you'll do is you'll click this, and then you'll click your state. In this case, we're in Illinois, so we're going to click way down here, and then it'll give you a list of counties, and it just so happens that Macon County Macon County, there it is. Macon County's number is 017115. Okay. Now, I also recommended you doing Sangamon County, which is, I know I'm kind of flipping around here. Let's see. Sangamon County is 017167. Now, for those of you who live in Shelby County, which is real close to us, your code is 017173. And there are other codes. I'm not going to get into all of them, but now you know how to get to these things. Anyway, that's pretty much how you do that. I guess I could go ahead and... Oh, whoa! We don't want that to happen. Whoops. Whoopsie. I will go ahead and give you Champaign County. Champaign County, for those of you who are curious, is 017019. For those of you living in Christian County, that would be 017021. And I guess I can give you Piatt, because Piatt's real close to us too. Piatt County is 017147. I'll say that again, 017147. So if you want to know about that. There are other counties. If you really want to know these pieces of information, leave a comment below. I'll look up your county for you and then tell you. Alright? And now you've pretty much seen how to program the counties. Alright, so we know all that now. Alright. Let's continue on with the demonstration here. We're going to go ahead and turn this thing on. Alright, now on your menu, we're going to go past time, light, alt test, alt type, same set, and channel. Now you can select whatever channel you want this on. There are 7 channels you can select from. Now we're going to hit select here. 162.4 megahertz is what comes out of Springfield, and I'll explain that later. 162.55 is somewhere else, and I'll explain that in a little bit. You got 162.525, 162.5, 162.475, 162.45, and 162.425. and so on and so forth.
The following counties.
Okay, now, once we selected this channel, we'll just go ahead and hit that. And that's, you can actually select here, a sleep alarm. You can actually have this wake you up in the mornings. I'm not going to do that. Oh boy. Yeah, you can actually have this as your alarm clock. Yeah, right. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I think that's the last thing you can do on this thing. Yeah. Pretty much that's it. So, like I said, you can select it. You can set the time. You can set a same set. You can set how the light works, so on and so forth. And basically that's how this thing really works. Now you're saying, well, where's the volume? Well, the volume is on this side, volume up and volume down. Now comes the more interesting part. You say, well, more interesting? That's right. You're saying, well, where all this stuff broadcasts from? Okay, well, if you're talking about the 162.4 megahertz, which is supposed to come out of Springfield, well, that station is it's an actual radio station. It's called WXJ75. Okay, and what they do is they use a portion of the WUIS. Now, this would be a public broadcasting service station. Okay, this is a PBS station. It's part of the National Public Radio. Okay, and WUIS is a public radio station. And the tower for that is near Mechanicsburg, Illinois. Okay, so even though the offices of WIS are closer to Springfield, the actual tower that transmits the signal is near Mechanicsburg. Okay, now what happens if you are living in Champaign? Well, you have a station called WXJ76, and it runs on a frequency of 162.55. Remember I was going through those channel frequencies? Okay, yours is 162.55. And you have a news talk radio station in your town called WDWS, and the National Weather Service uses part of their tower to broadcast to all of you. Okay, now what about those people who are in Shelbyville or Effingham? Well, you have a station that is called KXI 46, and it broadcasts on a frequency of 162.5 megahertz. Okay, now there is a company down there called Clear Talk, and Clear Talk is a cell phone company, and they have a tower near Tower Hill, Illinois, and they use part of that tower to broadcast to you. Now, what about you people in Peoria, Illinois? Okay, you have a station called WXJ71. It broadcasts on a frequency of 162.475, and you actually have a public broadcasting service channel. It's NPR, it's National Public Radio, okay? And your station there is known as WTVP. And this operates in East Peoria, Illinois, and what they do is the National Weather Service takes up part of their tower and broadcasts their weather alerts to you. And that's where your stuff comes from. Now, why did I mention all four of those stations? Well, when you have this baby outdoors, okay, and you live here in Decatur, you can pick up all four of these stations. If you were outside, you wanted to have a clear, sunny summer day, you wanted to pick up all four of these stations, you could actually pick them up with this thing. That's how powerful those stations really are. So yes, you can pick those up. And it's kind of fun to hear stuff. You know, you'll hear stuff in Peoria like, oh, I'm 65, 70 degrees, and then you're baking hot at 90. That's really funny. So anyway, that's all the information you really need on these weather radios, okay? And I will tell you more in a future video. I hope you found this very informative. I know I did. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.